Hey guys, how's it going? In this one, we are checking out the plane that is not a communist dildo. And if anybody can explain the whole fly daily and dildo things, I please do. I really don't understand. But, anyways, the LA 200 in the Russian tech tree, and it's a pretty goofy aircraft if you ask me. But, although it is extremely strange, it is quite fun to play, so much so that I have put an expert crew on it. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's expert, not aces. Anyways, before we get started, something that you do need to know about the LA 200 is even though War Thunder says it's a jet fighter, this is a twin engine interceptor. So, although it is very powerful and very quick to accelerate and has an honestly decent thrust to weight ratio, that does not does not mean that you should be turn fighting F-80s in it. Although, I mean, it can be done. The flaps are strong enough to do it. I just would highly recommend against it. Getting started with the LA 200, the first thing that we need to talk about, and the thing that this plane is most notorious for, is its pretty insane speed at 7.7, which is where it sits. On the deck, you're frequently going to see 1030 to like 1060. And that's faster than most of the other planes that it'll come up against, except for the rare occasion that you're in an up tier. Strangely enough, I saw more down tiers, or have seen more down tiers while flying this jet than up tiers, when normally that's the opposite. But, that's not really a bad thing. It's kind of broken at 7.0, and it's also pretty useless at like 8.3. So I feel like there aren't too many people that fly this thing, but I'm saying that you guys should. Now, in a down tier, it has a pretty, okay, this goes for an up and a down tier. The climb rate is insane. So anytime that you're going to come across B-29s, B-57s, TU-4s, what have you, you're really going to have no trouble getting up to that altitude to intercept them. Which, like I said, was the main reason that this jet was even created. So I can assume that it was to specifically intercept B-29s. It has the search radar and 2 engines. It's extremely fast, good climb rate, but in real life, the service is kind of blurry on it from the little bit of research that I did. Anyways, next point, the 37 mils are such a blessing and a curse. They're the same ones that you're going to see on the MiG-15 and MiG-17. There might be a little bit of generational difference there, but overall they have pretty much the same muzzle velocity and projectiles, except this plane has 3 of them. Now, they hit extremely hard, but same with all the other MiGs and like the Su-9 and Su-11. I would highly recommend using vertical targeting just because they travel so slow. I mean, not really to the point where it's a close range weapon like the ACAN M55s, but you're still going to want to use vertical targeting to give you just that little bit of edge, specifically in turn fights. I feel like I say that a lot when I'm flying jets like this. Oh, there's a B-29. Yep. Anyways, So they hit extremely hard, especially if you happen to land a high explosive shell. If you're just going to hit armor piercing, you'll see a lot of crits and a lot of fires, which strangely enough happens all the time. It's kind of like firing 50 cals, I feel like. Except it's at 7.7 and they they fire really slow and have a horrible muzzle velocity. Now, you know, this plane is extremely fun to fly. However, if you're getting into jets, and this is like, say, your second jet, and you're coming from the SU-9, I'm going to go ahead and assume that your crew isn't very leveled up. Now, in the gameplay that you're seeing, I don't think it's level 75, but my stamina and G tolerance on this crew is fully maxed out, and it's an expert crew. The reason I'm saying that is you don't have a researchable G suit. That's going to go for all of the Russian planes, but it seems like the LA-200 really suffers from that fact. And, actually, having a two-man crew shouldn't be a reason for not having G suits, right? Because the SK-60 has them. Anyways, I do want to talk about the radar just a little bit. Even though it is a search-only radar, it is somewhat useful, especially paired up with this plane. You can actually use it to intercept bombers, and if they're in the clouds, you'll be able to see them. And if you guys have any questions or concerns about radar, Tim's Variety has a very in-depth guide about every single radar in the game, including just normal search radars, and it goes all the way up to like F-16s and all that crap. But continuing on, something else that should be mentioned about the LE-200 is that for some reason the combat flaps are insanely strong, and I'm pretty sure I said it before, but you aren't going to want to really be in a prolonged dogfight or a turn fight in this thing. I mean, it's massive, to say the least. You are going to lose a lot of speed, but I mean, if you're a skilled pilot, you can pull it off. Kind of what you're seeing right here, I was kind of keeping up with an F-84, which is a straight wing aircraft and not a swept wing. And in some cases, you are going to be able to pretty easily stay on the 6 of most aircraft. I mean, it depends on a few different factors. Just, for example, the crew, their G tolerance, and also your skill as a War Thunder player. And just like in the MiG-15, you are going to want to incorporate the air brake into your dogfighting style. This plane doesn't really like to lose speed, especially if you're in a dive. It doesn't matter if it's a 1-degree dive or a 10-degree dive. You're still going to lose, or not lose, wow. Retain your energy pretty decently, even with your engines off. Oh, this is another pretty good example of what I was talking about. You're going to really want to use a lot of high yo-yos. That's how I like to fly it. You can pretty much use that as an easy way to reverse most planes. And once you get past the learning curve of the guns, I feel like it's pretty easy to be successful with it. I mean, earlier in the video, I had a 6-kill game, which for me is like absolutely wild. That guy was just sitting still, so that kind of should get ignored. And yet again, here's just another example of the climb rate. I already had some speed built up, but got up there pretty quick. So anyways, back into the cinematic bit. We're going to wrap the video up right there, guys. So if you kind of like the style of this video, let me know. And I should stop procrastinating and start posting more. It's been a little bit crazy. My parents have been moving. So maybe I will make a New Year's update video kind of reevaluating where I want the channel to go, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we catch you in the next one.